Jedi.
24!
Doppelganger villains seem to be a common trope among superheroes, and these individuals with modified voices, many weapons, and knowledge of the hero's personal life and tactics greatly represent that. The Arkham Knight, the mysterious terrorist from the last Batman Arkham game, and Prometheus, the throwing star killer of Star City. For this matchup, we will be examining these characters as they appear in their respective sources of media. For the Arkham Knight, we'll be examining him as he appears in Batman Arkham Knight. For Prometheus, we will be examining him as he appears in Season 5 of Arrow. And I will be spoiling these characters' true identities, so spoiler alert. I will examine each character's physicality, martial prowess, arsenal, and intelligence. So with that being said, let's begin! Round 1. Physical capabilities. Being trained by Batman himself, Jason is in peak human condition, with the only physical injury being the J-shaped scar on his cheek from his time being tortured by the Joker. He's strong enough to knock down Batman with a single punch, and then pin him to the ground with just one leg. He can disappear and reappear with the help of smoke grenades. Is precise enough to shoot a gun out of Scarecrow's hand. Durable enough to survive a fall from great heights, and endured being tortured by the Joker. For an entire year. To say that the Arkham Knight is tough would definitely be an understatement. Having been training for 4 years, Simon Morrison is in peak human condition. He's strong enough to restrain the physically imposing crime boss to buy his church with just one hand, kicked Green Arrow through a wooden panel, and threw Vigilante off a building. He's shown impressive feats of speed, such as dodging and even outrunning gunfire. He was fast enough to subdue Black Siren faster than she could react or even let out her sonic scream. He's also been shown on multiple occasions to seemingly disappear and reappear instantaneously. He had considerable reflexes as he was able to intercept a cable arrow around his forearm. And when he was hit with an explosive arrow, his agility is quite considerable as he's been shown on multiple occasions to scale down buildings with relative ease, and has been seen using his natural agility in combat before. Also, Prometheus has stated that he actually has an immunity to the drug diazepam. He has a high tolerance for pain, as he was seen taking a brutal beating from Green Arrow, was smashed through a wooden wall, had his head pushed right through a glass window, and was slammed right through a table, all in the same fight. Even a bullet wound to the shoulder doesn't seem to slow him down. He's also a master marksman, as he is shown to disarm a police officer while in midair with a shuriken. He's also used a shuriken to cut an arrow in midair. He even threw a pen through a man's eye. Prometheus certainly lives up to his title as the throwing star killer. Both characters are in peak human condition. Prometheus is the slightly stronger of the two, as he was able to restrain Tobias Church with one hand, who is definitely heavier than Batman. Prometheus has also been shown to have better feats of speed and agility, and Prometheus's marksman feats definitely outclass the Arkham Knights. While Prometheus has a high pain tolerance and an immunity to diazepam, it's nothing compared to falling off of a gargoyle and hitting the ground without rupturing any of your internal organs or breaking your bones, or 1 year of torture. In summary, while the Arkham Knight has the edge in pain tolerance and durability, Prometheus is slightly stronger, faster, more agile, and is a better marksman. Point goes to Prometheus. Round 2. Martial arts skills. Being trained by Batman himself, Jason is an expert martial artist in his own right. He is trained in Aikido, Capoeira, Karate, Savate, Krav Maga, Kickboxing, and Taekwondo. With these skills, he was able to hold his own against his former mentor during their various fights. All in all, the Arkham Knight is a fighting machine to be respected. Being trained by Talia al Ghul, Prometheus is a master martial artist. Seeing as how he's a doppelganger of Green Arrow and has studied him, it makes sense that he would use some of his fighting styles, as well as a few new ones. With this in mind, he would most likely be skilled in Wing Chun, Sistema, Taekwondo, Capoeira, Kali, Muay Thai, Boxing, Hapkido, Judo, Karate, Krav Maga, Salat, Wrestling, Sambo, and Shuriken Jutsu. With these skills, he easily overpowered the likes of Mr. Terrific and Artemis. He defeated Vigilante, and fought on par with Green Arrow not once, not twice, but 5 times. In most cases, he even held the upper hand in some of their fights, though he was eventually overpowered in their final fight. Prometheus is undoubtedly one of the deadliest fighters in the Arrowverse. Both of these characters are highly trained and skilled. While the Arkham Knight has fought Batman, he's never actually won against him. Prometheus, on the other hand, has more skills up his sleeves and has a better winning track record, far more than the Arkham Knight does. Point goes to Prometheus. Round 3. Weapons and Armor. Being a former Robin, the Arkham Knight has his fair share of wonderful toys, such as his grappling gun or his smoke grenades. His main weapon of choice is a pair of custom-made dual pistols. The pistols can combine to become a sniper rifle, and his armor can resist great amounts of physical trauma. His helmet is comprised of 2 visors. If one's broken, he can simply put on the other one. The Arkham Knight is the true definition of a militaristic Batman. As a doppelganger of Green Arrow, a student of the Demon Head's daughter, and someone who has studied the Emerald Archer's tactics, Prometheus uses a more ancient arsenal, as opposed to modern weaponry such as firearms. He carries a standard bow and arrow set, though the amount of arrows that he carries with him is still relatively unknown. He also has a customized Chokoro sword for melee combat, which he also uses in configuration with his bow, though he's not above using it all on its own. He carries with him 6 shurikens in total on his suit, which he throws with deadly proficiency. The shurikens themselves are actually made out of the arrows that Green Arrow has used during his 4 years of activity in Star City. He carries 3 throwing knives on his left thigh, which he uses for the standard throwing, and has also been seen using them in close quarters combat. In addition to his standard gear, he also carries a grappling hook and smoke bombs. Also, his suit has limited resistance to arrows. Emphasis on the word limited. Prometheus's weapons are versatile, silent, and very deadly. This is a classic case of quality versus quantity. While Prometheus has more options available for long-range, mid-range, and melee combat, the Arkham Knight's arsenal is more up-to-date and modernized. The Arkham Knight's grappling gun works better than a mere grappling hook. His smoke grenades are more fast-acting than smoke bombs. His dual pistols to sniper rifle configuration has far better range than a bow and arrow, and his armor has shown more consistent showings of durability, far more than Prometheus's does. Point goes to the Arkham Knight. Round 4. Intellect. Being trained by the world's greatest detective, the Arkham Knight is an expert tactician and strategist in his own right. He led an invasion onto Gotham City with his army, infiltrated the clock tower and kidnapped Barbara Gordon, and knows every single last one of Batman's tactics. He's very keen on using the environment to his advantage, such as when he ambushed Batman in his headquarters, or took a sniper's position on a gargoyle during their final fight. However, he is very emotionally unstable and is very quick to anger if provoked. The Arkham Knight is a planner you would want on your side. Planning his revenge against the Green Arrow for 4 years, Prometheus is a master tactician, strategist, and manipulator. He has knowledge of the Green Arrow's tactics and his personal life. He managed to convince Evelyn Sharp to betray Team Arrow. He was able to track down the elusive vigilante, managed to perfectly recreate a crime scene down to the last detail, tricked the Green Arrow into killing an innocent man, and he allowed himself to be captured just so he could blackmail Oliver Queen into helping him escape and enact the final part of his grand plan. Prometheus is also known for using the environment to his advantage, such as pushing Vigilante off of a rooftop and throwing Green Arrow down a flight of stairs. He seems to have a habit of starting most of his engagements on higher ground. He is, however, a complete psychopath, as he was willing to kill his own wife and even himself, just to make sure his revenge scheme came to full fruition. When Prometheus says that he's 10 steps ahead, he means it. Both of these characters are master tacticians and strategists in similar but different ways. The Arkham Knight is all about military planning, while Prometheus is about guerrilla tactics and psychological warfare. Both of them use the environment to their advantage, and they use their knowledge of the hero's tactics and personal life against them. The main difference, however, is that Prometheus uses this knowledge more effectively than the Arkham Knight does. Prometheus is a psychopath, but that doesn't seem to hinder him in any way. The Arkham Knight, on the other hand, is very quick to anger, and this can cloud his judgment, which is the type of mindset that Prometheus could easily exploit. Point goes to Prometheus. And now, the verdict. Though this may seem like a landslide victory, this is actually more of an equal fight than you may think. Let's set up this fight. Let's say it takes place on the rooftops of Star City. Let the battle begin. The Arkham Knight walks on the rooftop of an abandoned building. He stops, and he sees City Hall just a block away. He's about to move towards it when he hears a metal clang behind him. He turns around to see Prometheus on top of the access door.
Who the hell is this guy?
Oliver Queen is mine.
You kill him, you die.
Well, here's a better idea. How about I kill you instead?
Without hesitation, Prometheus fires an arrow at the Arkham Knight, but he manages to easily avoid the arrow. He then draws one of his pistols and begins to open fire on Prometheus, who evades the gunfire and jumps down. In response, the Arkham Knight rears the corner, pointing his gun towards where Prometheus should have been.
You'd have to really be stupid to bring a bow to a gunfight.
Suddenly, a shuriken whizzes by him, disarming him of his handgun. And it's at this moment that Prometheus decides to strike. Both combatants begin trading blows with each other, with the Arkham Knight throwing Prometheus over his shoulder, though Prometheus manages to get up and grab the Arkham Knight. Then, he throws him right off of the rooftop, and he looks down to see nothing but a big puff of smoke where the Arkham Knight should have been. Prometheus begins to walk away from the edge, when all of a sudden he hears a grappling hook from behind him. The Arkham Knight is shooting at him in midair, and punches Prometheus hard enough to send him to the ground. Then the Arkham Knight grabs his fallen pistol, holsters it, and he pins Prometheus down with one leg and points his pistol right at him. Suddenly, the Arkham Knight feels a sharp pain in his leg from where Prometheus stabbed him with one of his throwing knives. This forces the Arkham Knight to take his leg off of Prometheus, and affords Prometheus the opportunity to throw down a smoke bomb and run to the edge of the building, where the Arkham Knight tackles Prometheus off the building just as he's deploying his grappling hook. The both of them crash into another floor. Prometheus then pulls out his Chokoro sword and begins to attack the Arkham Knight, though he manages to dodge his attacks, and eventually he blocks the final strike, headbutting Prometheus and disarming him in the process. Prometheus reacts by throwing one of his throwing knives at the Arkham Knight's visor, damaging it, forcing him to remove it, and open fire with both pistols, but Prometheus has disappeared.
Can't hide from me! I will hunt you down!
Jason searches the room with his rifle, but Prometheus ambushes him, tackling him to the ground and wails on him, though Jason manages to kick him off. Prometheus pulls out his remaining throwing knife and attempts to stab Jason numerous times, though he is swiftly disarmed. Prometheus responds by kicking Jason through a drywall, damaging his second visor, though Prometheus recognizes his face.
Jason Todd. Now it makes sense. You still can't seem to get out of the shadow of the bat, can you?
Don't pretend to understand!
Jason then bull rushes Prometheus, but Prometheus dodges and throws Jason across the room. Jason attempts to get back up, but Prometheus throws a shuriken into Jason's neck, killing him instantly. I declare Prometheus, the throwing star killer, the one who is 10 steps ahead, the winner. Of course, this is all my opinion, but what do you guys think? Who do you think would win this fight? For what reasons? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll catch you guys next time!